So are you looking to leave your toxic, abusive family, but have no idea what the process is like in Malaysia? They don't have a guidebook how to leave your toxic, abusive family in Malaysia. How do I rent an apartment? How much is it gonna cost? What does a tenancy agreement even look like? Well, you're in luck because I happen to be an experienced individual. My credentials: moved out of my abusive household in 2023 at the age of 27, haven't spoken to my family in 2 years. I don't even know if they're still alive. And my mental health has never been better. Now, before I get any ignorant Malaysians lacking brain cells saying shit like, "But it's your family. You shouldn't say stuff like that about your parents," you can get the hell out of here. Like, there's the door. You can Kellen Quinn your way out, sir. Because it's about time that we acknowledge that parents are not angels and that abuse can and does happen within families. I mean, it's good that you were lucky enough to get good, strict parents who beat your ass because you deserved it. But there are people right now, as we speak, experiencing unimaginable abuse. Plus, like, the level of ignorance actually annoys me. Oh, my parents beat my ass because I was naughty and I deserved it. Okay, good. Why do you think your situation is comparable to mine? Right? Like, don't you guys think it's a little bit insane when some people say, you gotta spank your child a little? Yeah, and why do you think that there are no adults who take it too far? And the tough part about these situations is that they're not always black and white the way people would want it to be. Like, they want to look at a reason that they can recognize as abuse. They want to see the bruises. They want to see the injuries. So the minute they come across an explanation that doesn't fit the cookie-cutter image of abuse that they have, they tend to dismiss victims. Like, oh, you're just sensitive. Children these days are too much. But I'm here to tell you that you can have good memories with your abusive family. You can have good times with your abusive family because it's not always black and white. So this video is for those looking for a way out to leave your toxic and abusive family. Put some distance, draw some boundaries. Not so much an advice-like video, but more so the technical part on how to secure a place. Starting off with timing. Are you still in school? Do you have the strength to put up with the abuse just until you go to college, get your papers, and get a job? Or is it too unbearable that you're willing to sacrifice your education for peace of mind? Now, in my case, I was extremely isolated and dependent on my mother. Like, at the age of 27, I didn't even know how to take the train. Like, I didn't know how to use the LRT. So I had to put up with a lot of shit when I was going to college. And the only reason I was able to leave eventually was because of the YouTube stuff, the Patreon, the sticker shop. That's what helped me move out. So my advice would be for you to at least get your diploma or SPM cert to make sure that you have your papers to get a job so that you can save up money to leave. You see the correlation? Next up, budgeting. Because, like, moving in Malaysia is hella expensive. You don't just need rent money and you're good. No, you're gonna need way more. They don't make life easy for us. It's like they know that we're desperate. So you're gonna need these basics. 1 month's rent to pay in advance. So let's use my first place, 1300, as an example. Now this is the rent for the first month. And it also normally acts as a booking fee where you reserve the house so the landlord doesn't rent it out to anyone else while you prepare for the move. So in 2023, I paid mine on the 19th of October with a move-in date of the 1st of November. And then this year, I paid mine on the 25th of October with a move-in date on the 31st of October. Meaning after I paid this, the landlord could not rent it out to some other person until I signed the tenancy agreement and collected the keys. And then 2 months of rent for security deposit. So that's like 1,300 times 2, making it 2,600. Now this is if you skip out on paying rent during your tenancy or trash the house. So the landlord can use this to patch things up and cover their losses. Now if everything is okay, you pay your rent on time, you can get it back when your tenancy ends. And then half a month's rent for utilities deposit. So that's 1,300 divided by 2, making it 650 ringgit. Now this is if you don't pay your electric, water bill and allow the outstanding to reach an insane amount. So the landlord can cover for their losses. But if you pay everything on time, there's no outstanding, you'll get it back when your tenancy ends. And then around 200 ringgit for tenancy agreement fees. Anything higher is a scam, like straight up a scam. Because by law, agents can't charge you a fee for the act of drafting a tenancy agreement, since it's a legal document and only a lawyer or someone who practices the law can charge you a legal fee. These agents can like charge you an admin fee of like 150 to 200, you know, for that work of like repurposing a template, filling in your details and printing it out. Anything higher than that is a scam. So if they ever attempt to charge you higher than 200, ask them if it's drafted by a lawyer. Remind them that it's illegal. And if they say, yeah, it is, it's for legal fees, make sure that the draft of the tenancy agreement includes the letterhead of the law firm or information of the law firm that drafted drafted it. And then get an official receipt that states the money that you paid went to the law firm for legal fees. Yeah, I drove my agent for this place insane. I wasn't gonna let her off the hook after charging me $587 under the guise of it being legal fees, and then asking me to transfer said legal fees to her personal bank account. I know. I gave her hell. So if they do overcharge you or they refuse to secure the place for you because you don't want to pay their illegal fee, you can compile all your interactions with them, all the back and forth where they gave you this quotation, all this discussion, and then send it to the board and report that. Then get them suspended. And then depending on your tenancy duration, you gotta pay stamping fees, because like getting the agreement stamped makes it a legally binding document. There are a lot of examples online on how to calculate the stamping fees that you can refer to. Now, the longer your tenancy duration, the higher the stamping fees. After that, you have to prepare the building move-out deposit and move-in deposit. Because like if you are moving out of an apartment or condo, they will charge a deposit just in case the movers damage any part of the lift or the building during that move. Now, this depends largely on your belongings and the building. Like in my case, when I moved in, I only had my gaming chair, my tables, and a bunch of boxes. So I didn't need to pay a deposit. But when I moved this year, even within the same building, since I had my own furniture, I had to pay a deposit of $500. And if you're moving into a bougie apartment, the move-in deposit can go up to 1,000 ringgit. You will get these move-out, move-in deposits back, but then some places are sly where they will take ages to refund it, so you'll have to chase them constantly. And then make sure to prepare your moving truck fee. I used the Lorry app, and back in 2023, I moved 25 kilometers and I paid for a 1-ton truck with 2 men. Oh wow, I bought myself 2 hunky men for manpower because I was all on my own, which cost up to 228 ringgit. So altogether, I had to prepare 5,240 ringgit just to move out of my toxic household in 2023. And then this year for this place in the same building, I had to prepare 6,687 ringgit because my rent for this place is higher, 1,600. And this is not counting the travel fee to view the places, the cost to buying cleaning supplies and some basic stuff for the house when I first moved. So if you're still in school watching this, what are you doing? Get off your feet, get a job during the school holidays, chop chop, you gotta save money. You're gonna need a shit ton of money just to secure a place. I mean, there are other ways where you can try to find a place that does not require this much deposit. Like you can try speed home or dealing directly with the owner. But most of the time, this is the basic breakdown of renting an apartment in Malaysia. Up next, house hunting. So are you looking to just rent a room or a full-on house? A furnished place or an unfurnished place? Rooms are obviously much cheaper, so if you are working in an office or have a physical place to go to for work, then a room should be sufficient. Just make sure it's near your workplace so you won't have to spend too much on transport. Getting a fully furnished room will also help cut costs. You won't need to buy furniture or a new washing machine. You just gotta deal with housemates from hell if you're unlucky. I feel like as the video progresses, I'm just gonna go lower and lower. I'm trying to be comfy, okay? Now, if you're looking at houses instead of rooms, a bare unit is a place with no kitchen cabinets, no aircon, just the basic lights and fans. These houses rent are normally the cheapest, so if you don't work well with people, prefer to be alone, but are tight on cash, bare units should be good. A partially furnished unit is most of the time referring to kitchen cabinets, an aircon, but like my place, it can also include the curtains, the built-in wardrobe, the fridge, the washing machine. These do contribute to the rent price, so you really need to make a choice. And then a fully furnished unit literally is fully furnished. There are beds, bed frames, tables, sometimes even a TV. You don't need anything but yourself and your clothes. Now in my case, I had already launched my Patreon and sticker shop, so I was afraid that the sticker machine would make noise, because it is very loud. And then I do stream at like 3 a.m. without some sort of punishment. Does he know I like being punished? So I don't want to be shouting at 3 a.m. and bothering other people in the house, which is why I went straight for a house instead of a room. Initially, just an unfurnished studio would have been fine for me, but then when I came across a 2-room apartment with a fridge, a washing machine, curtains, a built-in wardrobe in a strategic location for 1,300 ringgit per month, it was a good deal. Too good actually, because I eventually learned that it was a dual key unit. Yeah, when you see dual key units, you want to run away like you've never ran before. It's where you share a small common space with a studio next door. And in my case, the entrances were separate. I rented a 2-room apartment with a studio next door. While we had separate meters, we were still billed as an entire unit. And then the agent would calculate the bill based on the separate meters you had. I hated this arrangement with a passion because your bill will really depend on how much the other person uses. Like take this for example. When the professor was renting the studio, he didn't use much. And so my bill would amount to this. But when the new dude moved in, his usage was so high that the rate also increased, causing my monthly bill to go from this to this. Also, the agent was a piece of shit. Cause like I would do my part and take pictures of the meter every single month, the water meter, the electric meter, on time. And this dude would take centuries to provide the breakdown. So that's why I try to avoid dual key units like your life depends on it. Now that you know what to look for, where to look at. So I normally browse through Property Guru, iProperty and Muda. Just make sure to use the filters to your advantage and read the descriptions properly. And always read the Google reviews of the apartments, because sometimes you'll find horror stories from the experience of other people. The management sucks, grab food getting stolen, cockroach infestation. And then if you find a place you like, contact the agent through the WhatsApp feature and ask, is this still available? What are the questions you might have before deciding to even view it? Are pets allowed? What floor is this on? When can we schedule a viewing? But always make sure to check the REN ID of these agents. Like you can go to the bot's website and check their REN ID to see if they are a registered agent. And make sure you do this before engaging in any kind of conversation. Also bear in mind, most of the time the rent prices are not the actual asking rental. They just double it up to see who they can secure quickly. And then they'll put negotiable to attract people. So if you see a place for 1.7, look at all the other similar units and examine the prices. Most of the time you will quickly find units with the same exact furnishing for a much lower price, which is the actual market price. Or just give it some time and after a while you will see these agents become desperate and reduce the rent price. Now the reason they mark up the rent this much is so that in the event a tenant tries to negotiate, they can make it seem like they're giving you a good deal. Like, okay, you know what, from 1.7, I'll give it to you for 1.6. That's because this is a special offer for you. It's a limited offer, just for you. When in reality, the owner actually asked for 1.5. And this is a form of networking for them. So like if they bring the owner a good deal, then this owner can recommend them to other homeowners. And then on top of that, the higher the rent, the higher their commission. So normally you'll have to look at location. Like how high is the demand for this location? The nearer to KL or the city center, the more expensive. The further away, the cheaper it becomes. Which is why you have so many affordable places at Cyberjaya, Kajang. And then age of the building also matters. Brand new buildings are more expensive. Floor, the higher the price. Furnishing, basic will be cheaper than partially or fully furnished. Is the view blocked or clear? Even a balcony will increase the rent. Oh, and watch out for Sohos and Sovos. These are commercial buildings, so you might find a bougie looking duplex like Empire City or Scott Garden for dirt cheap prices. Look at how magnificent these places are. But not only is the reputation of some of these places in the trenches, the utility bills are also calculated at a commercial rate. That's why the rent is so low. You want the bills to be calculated at a residential rate. So like my place before and now, electric is residential, but water is commercial. So a minimum of 10 ringgit regardless of how much I use. Now if you're Indian, brown-skinned or of South Asian descent, forget about negotiating because like you don't even know if you got a chance to view the place. They will send this tenant profile crap, which is a way for them to secretly check your race. Which is why if you're not Chinese or you fit any sort of brown South Asian profile, you can dream about even getting a chance to schedule a viewing. And even if you do, you don't want to mess it up by negotiating. Now I am actually not Indian. Shocker. My mom's side is of South Asian descent. We're brown skinned, so we do get mistaken for Indian a lot, which is why I use the lack of education and ignorance of these property agents to my advantage. Like, what do you mean you don't know basic geography or basic Malaysian history? It's 2025. Do people still think that the only races in Malaysia are Malays, Chinese, and Indians? My great-grandparents were born here, okay? Way before some of the Indians or Chinese were brought in. So for these tenant profiles, I put my surname to good use. But then a lot of times when I do show up in person and they see this South Asian looking kid, they don't know how to function. And this shows the cracks in their screening method. You say no to Indians, but what are you gonna do when someone who is Malaysian, a mix of two minority races that is not Malay, Chinese, or Indian, but is brown skin, shows up? Anyways, let me know if there are any Malaysians of South Asian descent or Indians, brown skinned people who would like some tips and tricks on navigating this screening process. Because I have a few, I am a veteran. I also like giving people a hard time. Here's the thing, if you're gonna do something as stupid as this, I'm gonna give you twice as much. So now that you've scheduled a viewing, I would suggest that you go with a friend. But if like me, you are isolated to the car, aka you don't have friends. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I'm 29 years old and I don't have friends. Then you have to take the risk and go on your own. Which is why if you're a woman or effeminate in any way, it'll be best for you to look for a female property agent just to be on the safe side. Because like you don't have anyone to share your location with. You don't have anyone who's gonna know where you're gonna go. So just take the safe safe route and go with a female property agent. As of now, I've actually viewed all places by myself on my own, and I have gone with a lot of male property agents, but like, here's the thing, I don't look so feminine, if you haven't noticed. But like, I don't think I give off masculine vibes either. Do I? I am non-binary. I think I'm the best representation of non-binary. Just make sure when you go on your own, you double check the REN ID of these agents. Make sure that the person you're meeting matches the photo on the website of the bot. Or sometimes they will send their colleague, so just make sure you check their REN ID on the bot's website. Like for my recent place, the agent actually didn't present her business card upon arrival, which was odd. And I was so busy and distracted that day I didn't ask for it, but I did later on ask for a digital version, and then when I looked at it, I didn't see the REN ID. So I just asked, like, where is it? I want to make sure you're registered. And then boom. I don't think legally she should be collecting booking fees and like doing all this legit agent work. So she did provide her colleagues one, and then I reached out to the colleague through the number in the website and got my confirmation that she was indeed attached to the agency she claimed to be attached to. Yay! So for the viewing, always record every bit of it. You're gonna be asking questions, and if you have a little anxiety like me, you might not notice some things then and there. So record your viewing so that you can look at them again once you're home. Also make sure to record the agent that is showing you around, because there is a scam going around where people pretend to be agents. They rent Airbnbs, put up fake listings and show the unit around like it's theirs, and then once they get the deposit money, they chow. And then on the moving day, you learn that you can't even use the access card anymore because it was never up for rent in the first place. All that deposit money burned. So please be very careful of this scam, especially if you're tight on money. You don't want to lose that deposit money you're clinging on to escape your toxic household. Like I recently had an agent all the way in Negeri Sembilan arrange some dude to open up the place for me just to look at it, and the thing was, she wasn't there. The dude didn't even know anything about the unit.
No idea. So you ask.
How am I supposed to pay a shit ton of deposit money to someone I've never met in person? Like, at least if the dude she had arranged knew something about the unit and I was able to talk to him about the agreement and stuff, then it would have been okay. But nope, I couldn't ask any questions, so I was like, yeah, I'm not proceeding with this one. Oh yeah, if you're really sus about a particular unit, you can go to the management and actually confirm some stuff. Like for this place, the landlord was making too many promises, and I'm like, this is too good to be true. So I decided to go to the management downstairs and I checked with them. Like, this is the unit I'm about to move into. Can you let me know if the owner is a good paymaster? Do they pay the maintenance fees on time? She looked at everything, she confirmed the owner's name, and she was like, yep, everything's good paymaster, no problem. So I was like, okay. So during the viewing, ask questions like, how long has it been vacant? This can give you room to negotiate. If it's been vacant for some time, then agents and landlords are desperate to rent it out. Like in my recent case, I had seen the listing for this place for about a month, but when I asked how long it had been vacant for, the agent said a week. Now I knew she was lying, and I also knew she and the landlord were desperate. So this kind of gave me the upper hand and confidence to make some demands. Curtains, for the ceiling to be repainted, and for a washing machine to be added. You can see how desperate they were, and I'd say I got a pretty good deal. 1,600 for 3 rooms and a maid room? I never even had a maid growing up. And then a fridge plus a washing machine, custom curtains, beautiful view, 3-tier security? I'd say it's a good deal. And then ask other utilities commercial or residential rate. Open the windows and check what the noise is like. Noisy neighbors? Noisy highway? Can you handle it? Any construction sounds? Check all the cabinets for signs of mold, dampness, or infestations. You don't want to deal with these issues during your tenancy. Check, are there white ants on the wood, any cockroach eggs, pepper-like stuff at the edges? Oh, what's this?
What is that? Oh.
Those are cockroach droppings. Don't ask me why I know. I'll share that story some other time. Look for signs of maybe bed bugs, any leakings in the bathroom area. Check the tap and the shower, the water pressure, the state of the apartment. Can you see marks on the wall that maybe previous tenants caused? You can use this to also negotiate the rent price. Like, hey, this is not a brand new unit. Lower it down a little. Be sure to confirm what the deposit breakdown is like here. Face to face, eyeball to eyeball. When they mention tenancy agreement fees 400, 500, look them in the eyes and ask, is it drafted by a lawyer? Get confirmation. Try to shake them up a little. Like, you do know it's illegal, right? And if you're charging me a legal fees, I'm gonna ask for a receipt. Because I feel like it's about time Malaysians equip ourselves with knowledge about our rights. I feel like a lot of times these agents don't mind going around scamming people like this and openly stating, this is the tenancy agreement fees, transfer this to my personal bank account, because they know that most Malaysians don't know the law. And when y'all go ahead without questioning them, it makes it harder for the people who do question them. Like, Like for one of the places that I viewed, the whole fee for the tenancy agreement was so sus, so I said I'll provide it myself. And then she's like, oh no, the landlord would want to use our template, blah blah blah. Then I said, as long as it's drafted by a lawyer. And I mentioned, my mom worked in a law firm for 10 years, I know my shit. And then you wanna know what she does? She gives me a call then and there and says, if you don't like that, never mind lah, because actually we also don't like working with like lawyers and policemen and all the aska people. Did she just confess to avoiding law enforcement because she can't scam them? Like yeah, of course you don't like working with them because you can't scam them, that's why. And it was a subtle threat, like she was saying, if you continue to question the legality of these things, I'm not gonna help you secure the place. I'm gonna go to someone else who's gonna fall for the scam. Which is why I hope this video reaches a lot of people, because the more people know about their rights, the harder it is for these people to scam. But if you still find yourself in these shoes where they've rejected to help you secure a place because you question the legality of things, compile all your interactions and then report them to the board to get them suspended. Because I don't want to resort to legal threats in order to get what I'm entitled to get, a receipt of the legal fees that I pay. I feel like they don't deal with neurodivergent people often. If you're a property agent watching this, the last thing you want to do is attempt to scam a neurodivergent person. You ain't scamming me, sonny boy. Cause like I own an LLC in the US and I pay a registered agent to represent me. And here's the thing, over there, people know their rights. They know what law enforcement can and cannot do. Even I know my rights as a non-US resident that owns an LLC. Because of this, you don't have licensed registered agents attempting to openly scam people like this, or you don't have Americans falling for these easy scams. Like transferring the money to your personal bank account, you know that it's traceable, right? When I went down this rabbit hole, I did see a lot of agents trying to justify this, saying, oh, if you want free work, then go somewhere else. We're trying to cherry makan here. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't give a damn that you're trying to make extra cash. Just make sure that you're following the law. If the law states you can't charge me a fee for the act of drafting a legal agreement, then you don't charge me a fee for the act of drafting a legal agreement. Simple! If all you're gonna do is repurpose an existing template, then charge me the appropriate admin fee. I am making this video for people who are in potentially life-threatening situations. Can you imagine what a financial burden it is for someone in that position to put together an insane amount of deposit money like that? Imagine a teen from an abusive household, a wife or a mother from an abusive marriage, trying to secure a place, and then some greedy, scummy agent overcharging for an agreement. That's insane! So after the viewing, if say you ask the agent to negotiate the rent for you, you can't wait to hear their verdict. But if you're going with the initial rental price, you can proceed to pay the first month's advance rental to the agent's agency bank account. And this acts as a booking fee. Do not transfer this money to the agent's personal bank account. It is a booking fee that must go to the agent's agency bank account, where it would be held. So make sure to sign an agreement to rent or offer letter like this that states, if the landlord rents the unit out to someone else after you've paid the booking fee, they must refund you the amount and compensate you because you were preparing to move to this place and now you gotta find some other place on short notice. So compensation, baby. And then vice versa, if you cancel and choose another place after paying the booking fee and signing the offer letter, you will have to compensate the landlord, because the landlord could have gotten other tenants during the time that they kept the unit for you, only for you to bail in the end. Now because the landlord of this place made so many promises when I viewed the place, I had the agent make a remark of all these things that they promised to do, to have it in writing just in case. So washing machine, curtains, repainting. And then the agent will ask you for information for the tenancy agreement, like a copy of your IC. Some will ask for your employment letter just to make sure you are capable of paying the rent. Provide all the necessary documents and they will send you an agreement draft to read through. Just make sure to read it thoroughly because some agents and landlords are scummy. They will put crappy clauses like the owner can come and go whenever they want, which by law they can't. Remember, any clause that contradicts the law is useless. Like you can sue them for infringing on your rights as a tenant later. So read through and make sure you ask about any clause that you are sus about. And if you want to, you can also add something of your own. Once that's settled, discuss the key handover date, which will normally be 2 to 3 days before you move in. And then on the key handover date, be sure to record everything. Every angle of the house as the agent shows you around. The walls, the agent who is showing you around, the state of the ceilings, the cabinet, the furniture that it comes with, and keep this recording with you. I have mine from back in 2023.
Okay, shower screen and water heater storage tank, of course you cannot see lah. Exhaust fan.
And now the recent one, which is like 8 minutes long. You want to keep this in the event you get a scummy landlord or agent. And then once you've checked the place well on that day, confirm the inventory list, you can proceed to sign the agreement. Just double check the schedule at the back where all of the important information is at. And this is when you will transfer the 2 months rent deposit and half a month's rent for utilities deposit to the landlord's bank account. Make sure it is the account that is stated in the agreement. And then transfer the tenancy agreement fees and the stamping fees to the agent's agent's agency bank account, not their personal bank account. It must go to the agent's agency bank account. And if they try to frame it as legal fees, get the receipt from the law firm that drafted it. Now that you've gotten your freedom keys, then what? You celebrate. It was such a surreal experience when I got the keys to the place because freedom. Of course, this was me after moving this year in the same building because my landlord needed the place for personal use. But if you look at me when I first got my freedom keys, it was bittersweet. Because like I said, these toxic abusive situations are not always black and white where you despise your parents. It's just that there comes a time where you have to prioritize yourself and put your mental health first. Where you have to draw boundaries and put some distance for your sake. So for me, the first time I got my freedom keys, it felt bittersweet. Mopping and cleaning on my own by myself. Once that's settled, you just gotta pray that your family don't cause a hoo-ha on the day that you move out. In my case, my mom never in a million years thought I'd leave because unlike my sisters, I really was the obedient child. Like I would do everything my mom told me to do, which was why I barely knew how to do anything without my mommy by my side. So she never caused any drama on the day that I left. She most probably thought that I'd have a hard time and then come back. But it's been 2 years, I haven't spoken to her and I actually don't have any regrets. Cause like my mental health was at a very scary place. And I've shared my, self-harm struggles on the other channel. Of course, I'm clean for 8 years, but like the journey to stay clean like this while still living with the source of my distress was hard. Which is why in the end, I had to leave. So of course, now once you leave, you're gonna feel alone, you're gonna feel lonely. And like in my case, I was isolated to the core. Like my mom never had any friends. We never mixed around with other family members, other relatives. I sit here today as a 29-year-old who has never attended a wedding before. Let that sink in. I'm 29. Does anyone want to invite me to your wedding? So I was truly raised in isolation, which is why even after leaving, I don't have any extended family members to keep in touch with. So I am all on my own by myself, and whenever I do feel lonely, I'll go live on Instagram and on Twitch, and then I'll mess around with my Discord community. Now call me parasocial all you want, but I do trust my Discord community to the core. My community has been my support system ever since leaving my toxic household. Because like, who do you think buys my stickers, joins my Patreon, buys subs on Twitch? It's my community. Some of them have been a part of my Patreon for more than 3 years now. And they have really helped me restore my faith in humanity because I do have a lot of trust issues as a result of my relationship with my mom, my mommy issues. But my Discord members, my community, I trust. I wouldn't be able to afford a place like this if not for them. By the way, I'd like to announce the launch of my local Shopee sticker shop. Yay! Before this, all my stuff was only available to my global audience because to comply with Malaysian law, I had to go to the extent of forming my LLC and making sure that all my stuff over there falls under the US entity. So now that I've opened up this local Shopee store, only the SFW stuff will be on it. So out of the 80 products that are on Etsy, on Shopee you can find like 30 to 40. I mean, at least it's something. I'm also launching a local Patreon and I'm calling it like a Weeb meets Malaysia. This one is different than my global Patreon, which is the monthly BL stickers and queer stickers. This Malaysian local Patreon, to comply with local law, it's just gonna be family friendly stuff. So for November, you can join my sticker club to receive these Love and Deep Space themed Christmas stickers. Yay! Christmas with the boys in Kuala Lumpur. And for only 15 ringgit per month? Whoa! Free shipping because it's letter mail? What? I'm trying to hype y'all up. Okay, is it working? Do you feel like joining the club now? So one glitter sticker sheet and one holographic die cut sticker, and they're all drawn by me, handmade by me. Like I print them out with my printer, cut them with my cutting machine, and then mail them with a lot of love. So join. That's all I have to share for this video. I hope this will come in handy for those attempting to leave their toxic abusive household. Maybe it'll help you plan your finances, prepare yourself. And for any parents watching this, maybe you can re-examine your relationship with your children. No one would really want to go no contact like this. This is like a last resort. And bear in mind, a lot of times when people take drastic measures like this, it's because they've tried every other avenue. So yeah, re-examine your relationship with your children and try to see if you're being an asshole. Yeah, so that's it. If there are any Malaysians who'd like to contribute, maybe share your experience. Like, I only know what it's like to rent a house. I don't really know the room process, what it's like to be living with other people. Also, I was able to do all of this after launching my YouTube stuff, my Patreon stuff. So maybe some people would like a more relatable situation. Which is why share your experience in the comment section and I'll see you when I see you. Ciao. Bye-bye. Ta-ta.